Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the whole elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. I give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua. The Most High, the Heavenly Father. His Hebrew name is Yahweh, not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Mosai, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahaya, not Allah, not Abba. It's Yahweh. And his only God's son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshua, not Yehoshua. It's Yahweh Shai. So gotta give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rekah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elder bishop and elders of great millstone who well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all Israel, already accepted or not. In the sincere salutation to all the pushing his truth and believing his truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, waking up the hopeful elect. Shalom to the Abbas who are listening learning. If your sisters who are listening learning. Coming into the lesson of truth, facts, faith, and edification, of the day edification, Lord, will be edifying. So I title this lesson, when the wrath of Yahweh comes, there will be no escape. And I was meditating on the one prophet in First Kings 13, and how the Lord sent a lion to kill him because of disobedience. And it was simply for disobeying. Now I got 2 points I want to make. Because we know that 2/3 going to be destroyed, whomever the 2/3 are. And the elect going to be saved, whoever the elect is. So the 2 points I want to make. So you had the one prophet that the Lord told to do something, and he didn't follow the steps correctly. Then you got another point when the Lord sent out 2 she-bears and killed 42 children, right? What were the children doing to get destroyed by 2 bears? They were scoffing. They was mocking. Okay? They was mocking the messenger of the Lord, right? And the prophet that got destroyed didn't follow the orders of the Lord. Like when it tell you in Ezekiel 33, they heard our words, but they would not do them. So here's 2 different accounts of a lion destroyed what appears to be a so-called man of the Lord, a messenger. And the Lord sent 2 she-bears because they was mocking at Elijah, right? That's 2 separate accounts. The Lord going to use animals. He said he go teeth of wild beasts. So I want to read this. I want to read the point here. Now this is 1 Kings 13. I'm going to start at 1. And behold, there came a man of God out of Judah by the word of the Lord unto Bethel. And Jeroboam stood by the altar to burn incense. And he cried against the altar in the word of in the altar to lock it. And he cried against the altar in the word of the Lord and said, O altar, altar, thus saith Yahweh, behold, a child shall be born unto the house of David, Josiah by name, and upon thee shall he offer the priests of the high places that burn incense upon thee, and men's bones shall be burnt upon thee. And he gave a sign the same day, saying, This is the sign which Yahweh hath spoken. Behold, the altar shall be rent, and the ashes that are upon it shall be poured out. And it came to pass, when King Jeroboam heard the saying of the man of God, which he cried against the altar in Bethel, that he put forth his hand from the altar, saying, Lay hold on him, and his hand which he put forth against him dried up, so that he could not put it in against him. The altar was rent, the altar also was rent, and the ashes poured out from the altar, according to the sign which the man of God hath given by the word of the Lord. And the king answered and said unto the man of God, Entreat not the face of the Lord thy power, and pray for me, that my hand may be restored me again. And the man of God besought the Lord, and the king's hand was restored him again, and became it as was before. And the king said unto the man of God, Come home with me, and refresh thyself, and I will give thee a reward. And the man of God said unto the king, If thou wilt give me half thine house, I will not go in with thee, neither will I eat bread nor drink water in this place. For so was it charged me by the word of the Lord, saying, Eat no bread, nor drink water, nor turn again by the same way that thou camest. So he went another way and returned not by the way that he came to Bethel. So the Lord told him, When you enter into this place, when you leave, don't enter out the same way. He followed the orders. So he went another way and returned not by the way that he came to Bethel. Now there dwelt an old prophet in Bethel, and his sons came and told him all the works that the man of God had done that day in Bethel. The words which he had spoken unto the king, them they told also to their father. And their father said unto them, What way went he? For his sons had seen what way the man of God went, which came from Judah. And he said unto his sons, Saddle me the ass. So they saddled him the ass, and he rode thereon, and went after the man of God, and found him sitting under an oak. And he said unto him, Art thou the man of God that camest from Judah? And he said, I am. Then said unto him, Then he said unto him, Come home with me and eat bread. And he said, I may not return with thee, nor go in with thee, neither will I eat bread, nor drink water with thee in this place. For it was said to me by the word of the Lord, Thou shalt not eat no bread, nor drink water there, nor turn again to go by the way that thou camest. He said unto him, I am a prophet also, as thou art. So this guy is lying to this guy here is lying to the prophet of the Lord. He said unto him, I am a prophet also, as thou art. And an angel spake unto me by the word of the Lord. Now, when you read this prophet, the Lord, it said the Lord spoke to him. Okay? It didn't say an angel spoke to him. It said the Lord spoke to him. So now this guy saying, an angel told me to come and get you. Listen, 1 Kings 13 and 18. And see, this is that trickery. As the Lord ain't dealing with you, this is that trickery that plays out in a false prophet's life. That's what the Lord said in Ezekiel 14 and 9. If a prophet have spoken a thing, I, the Lord, have to see that prophet and those that seek unto him. So this 1 Kings 13 and 18, this is the guy telling the prophet of the Lord. He said unto him, I am a prophet also, as thou art. And an angel spake unto me by the word of the Lord, saying, Bring him back with thee into thy house, that he may eat bread and drink water. But he lied unto him. Now, this prophet, the Lord told him, don't eat and drink nothing, right? So here's another man that come to him and said, I'm a prophet like you. The angel told me to come and get you. So if this was so, the Lord would have came to him in another vision and told him, I'm sitting just like he did Peter. When he put Peter in the trance in Acts 10, right before the men that Cornelius was sending to Peter, the Lord put Peter in a trance to show him the vision of these men coming. Don't call them unclean. So the Lord would have showed this prophet right here a vision of this guy coming to lie to him. But the Lord didn't, because he already gave him strict orders. He already gave him the orders. The Lord said, when you read in Psalms 8 and 9, he said, once have he sworn unto David. Hey, when the Lord give his word, you can bank on it, man. This is a sure foundation. So this prophet supposed to know that this guy didn't come from the Lord. But this is the Lord said, what is that? Job 12:16? To deceive and to deceive by his. So it say, verse 19, so he went back with him and did eat bread in his house and drink water. Because this guy said, the angel came to me. When you read up in the verse, it didn't say an angel came to this prophet. It said the Lord came to him, which we know was an angel that gave him the word of the Lord. But it didn't say an angel gave him the word of the Lord. It said the Lord gave him the word, right? So here come this guy saying, an angel came to me and told me to come get you. Verse 19 again. So he went back with him and did eat bread in his house and drink water. And it came to pass as they sat at the table. Now remember, it said, but he lied unto him in verse 18. So he went back with him and did eat bread in his house and drink water, which the Lord told him not to do. And this is simple. The Lord gave us a direct order, man, of what to do. It said he came, and it came to pass as they sat at the table that the word of the Lord came unto the prophet. See, it don't say an angel came to the man. It said the word of the Lord came unto the prophet that brought him back, the false prophet that brought back the real prophet to his house and told him to eat. Verse 21. And he cried unto the man of God that came from Judah. Can you picture somebody you sitting eating and the guy just started crying? He looking like, what's wrong? And he like, man, the Lord finna kill you, man. Listen, say, and he cried unto the man of God that came from Judah, saying, thus saith the Lord. I love thus saith the Lord, man. For as much as thou hast disobeyed the mouth of the Lord, and has not kept the commandment which the Lord thy power commanded thee, but camest back and has eaten bread and drunk water in the place of the which the Lord did say to thee, eat no bread and drink no water, thy carcass shall not come unto the scepter of thy fathers. And it came to pass, after he had eaten bread and after he had drunk, that he saddled for him an ass, to wit, for the prophet whom he brought back. And when he was gone, a lion met him by the way and slew him, and his carcass was cast in the way, and the ass stood by, it. The lion also stood by the carcass. And behold, men passed by and saw the carcass cast in the way, and the lion standing by the carcass, and they came and told it in the city where the old prophet dwelt, the false prophet. And when the prophet that brought him back from the way heard thereof, he said, it is the man of God who was disobedient. But he was the one that told him to come back and eat. The Lord is cold, man. It say, who was disobedient unto the word of the Lord. Therefore the Lord hath delivered him unto the lion, which have torn him and slain him according to the word of the Lord, which he spake unto him. And he spake to his son, saying, saddle me the ass. And they saddled him, and he went and found his carcass cast in the way, and the ass and the lion standing by the carcass. The lion had not eaten the carcass, nor torn the ass, because the Lord just had the lion to kill him, not to eat him up though. Listen, the point is, the Lord have given us a direct order, man. It's the straight skinny, ain't no watered down. It's straight skinny, man, with this truth, straight facts. We ain't sugarcoat. Isaiah 50:1, the Lord say, "Hey, spare not, don't cry, lift up thy voice like a trumpet." Right. So 2 points. Cause I'm finna read Amos 5:18. So you got the two she bears that killed the 42 children. Why? Because they were mocking the prophets. What 2/3 of people doing today? They mocking the messengers of the Lord, right? So they're gonna die. Teeth the wild beast, just like the 42 children. Then you got a prophet that didn't listen to the Lord, just like you got these false prophets out here in all these groups. Okay, all these harlot houses, these TD snakes and theft low dollars and Geno Genesis and these all these favorite group prophets. Okay, IUIC, ISUPK, GOCC, Believers of the Way, True Nation, whoever they is, because they're not teaching the people about the sea hill, about Jacob's trouble. They ain't talking about it. So they are likened to this prophet that didn't follow the orders of the Lord, the commandments of the Lord, man, which is precepts. So there is no escape, man, when you don't follow orders. This is Amos chapter 5. In verse 18 it reads, Woe unto you that desire the day of Yahweh. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. As if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him. So you got away from this trouble, and a bear met you. Or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall. So you got away from the lion and the bear. Now you in some old abandoned building, some old shack, and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. Should not the day of Yahweh be darkness and not light, even very darkness and no brightness in it? Now I want to get Jeremiah 15. Lord willing, I'll make it too long. I was thinking about this guy. Prophet, the Lord gave him a direct order, man, to go and drop the word, heal this guy, and leave. Don't eat nothing, don't drink nothing, and when you leave out this city, don't go out the same way you came in. Straight orders, man. And they tell you in Psalms, matter of fact, let me read it from the phone. In Psalms 19 and 7, and this is why many is going to stumble and fall, man, and be broken. And was it Isaiah 8? You start at verse 13 down to 15. The Lord is a stumbling block, man. This is Psalms 19 and 7 it reads. The law of Yahweh is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of Yahweh is sure, making wise the simple. We ain't simple no more, man. And the Lord gave us straight commandment. So this is Jeremiah 15 and 1. But there is no escaping the Lord's wrath when it's in the earth, man. Then said Yahweh unto me, though Moses and Samuel stood before me, yet my mind could not be towards these people. Cast them out of my sight and let them go forth. And it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Then thou shalt tell them, thus saith Yahweh, such as are for death to death, that's one judgment, and such as are for the sword to the sword, that's another judgment, two, and such as for famine to the famine, that's the third judgment, and such as for captivity to the captivity. So these are the four sore judgments. And I will appoint over them four kinds, saith Yahweh, the sword to slay, and dogs to tear, and fowls of heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy. Right? In Ezekiel 14, 20, it reads, Ezekiel 14 and 21, but thus saith Yahweh power, how much more when I shall send my four sore judgments upon Jerusalem, upon you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Oh, I just thought about this. In Hosea 5 and 14, thus saith the Lord, for I will be unto Ephraim as a lion and as a young lion to the house of Judah. Even I, will tear and go away. I will take away, and none shall rescue him. Because this is Jacob's trouble. See? So back in Ezekiel 14 and 21, thus saith Yahweh power, how much more when I send my four sword judgments upon Jerusalem, upon you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. The sword and the famine and the noisome beast and the pestilence. That's four sword judgments to cut off from it man and beast. Now, when you go to Revelation 7, 1, but the angels holding back the four winds, man, which is what? The four sword judgments. Revelation 7 1, it reads, and after these things I saw four angels stand on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power. And this is right here is Ezekiel chapter 9, man. Okay? Starting at 1, down to verse 4 through 8. Is what in Ezekiel 4, Ezekiel 9:4 is 6 angels. 5 of them going to slay. One was setting the mark on the men. So it say, I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God, and he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea. See, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. Same thing in Ezekiel 9. The one angel was setting the mark on them, the other angels was killing everybody that the angel didn't set the mark on. Same thing right here in Revelation 7. It's a direct precept to Ezekiel 9, right? But the point I want to make is these angels is holding back what? The 4 winds, right? The 4 sword judgments. Check this out. In Revelation chapter 6, you deal with the red horse, right? Well, you got the pale horse. What's the pale horse doing? Let's read it. Just some points I was thinking about. Revelation 6:8. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death. This also is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. And hell followed him, and hell followed with him, and power was given unto him to do what, Lord? Over the 4 part of the earth, to kill with the sword, 1, and with hunger, 2, and with death, 3, and with the beasts of the earth. 4 sword judgments that you cannot escape, man. And Jake think this is a game right now. And it's not no game, man. We watching the Lord prophecies play out every day, man. And Shalom to the Akim, I walk from the comment board. Shalom for opportunity. How about Shema Bashar? Thumb. So I was just thinking about the judgment of the Lord. There is no escape, man. And going back into 1 Kings 13 with the prophet, we said the man of the Lord. And he did everything the Lord told him to do. But what did the Lord do? He set a trap for him, man. The Lord sent a man to him and told him that the angel of the Lord came to him and told him to come back and eat and drink with him, man. And what the Lord said, the Lord said, don't eat nothing, man. So if you get an order, from the apostles, or you get a call from the elder bishop, one of the elders call and tell you a situation, and then you go against the grain, what's going to happen? You're either going to get suspended or you'll get kicked out. Because that it might be somebody that's suspended, right? And they might say, don't have no contact with his brother. Listen, just use that for an example. The Lord gave this man an order. You go heal this guy's hand, right? He healed him. He said, come, let me eat and drink. This is what he did to the king. He told him no. He left, said that the other prophet came and found him sitting on an oak tree, and he told him, an angel told me to come and get you. Well, the Lord would have sent him a vision and said, again, just like the Lord did Peter, right before those men that came from Canaan to get Peter, the Lord put Peter in a trance to give Peter that vision of the men that was coming to get him. He would have did this prophet the same way, but he didn't because it was final. What the Lord told him to do, that was it. Ezekiel 14:9. And if the prophet be deceived when he have spoken a thing, I Yahweh will have deceived that prophet, and I will stretch out my hand upon him and will destroy him from the midst of my people Israel. And they shall bear the punishment of their iniquity. The punishment of the prophet shall be even as the punishment of him that seeketh unto him. See? So the Lord gave him a straight commandment, man. But he gonna listen to this other guy. The Lord didn't say, hey, when you go to the city, it's another prophet there. Go share some word. No, we told him, go do what I told you to do, and leave. And I'm just using these 2 examples of the 42 children that got killed by the 2 she-bears because they was mocking the prophet, man, which is 2/3 doing now. And they're gonna die grievous death, 4 sword judgments. Then you got the prophet that was a man of the Lord, and he didn't continue to follow the narrow path, the commandment the Lord told him to do. And that applies to these teachers of these other groups, man, that got Jake going off. There is no escaping Yahweh Shema Shai judgment when they hit the earth because we have straight orders, man, of what to do. We have been given the orders, man. And this is simple. I just read Psalms 19:7. It said the laws of the Lord make it wise the simple, man. We are not simple anymore. And we are being held to a standard, man, which is integrity and order, man. And there is no escaping the Lord's judgment, man. There is no escaping. That example of Amos 5:18, running from a lion, running into a bear, fleeing from the lion, running into a bear, getting away from the bear, then running into a house with a serpent. That means there is no escaping the Lord when Jacob's trouble take flight, man. It's simple. So Lord was edifying. To give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rakah Kodash, the bonus to the apostle, the bishop, and the great minister who well, who teach well, while the apostle does all Israel, ready to accept it or not, and the sincere salutation to all the pushing this truth and believing this truth, for the four winds of the earth, the entire world, hey, shedding light on the hopeful elect, man. And Shalom Zakwan, Yahweh Shema Shah Brakatah. Again, throughout tuning in, may Yahweh Shema Shah continue to bless you in your houses. Stay prayed up. There will be no escaping the Lord's judgment when his wrath is in the earth, man. Shalom.